Hi, welcome back to Unique Minds of the Okanagan. I'm Rob O'Day, and we're on location in Penticton with Brent Steele, aka Dr. Mohawk,
Yeah,
the
there's hiding under
creator
here somewhere.
of chaos art.
Yes.
How are you, my friend?
I'm fantastic, Rob. Thank you for asking. I
Thanks
really
for
appreciate that.
having us over and letting us dive into this world that you've created.
Yeah, it's I'm glad you decided to dip your toes in the crazy water. It's something else. So whatever you'd like to know, I'm more than willing to answer the question.
Perfect. Well, why don't we start off with letting people know who you are, where you're from, and how you got into being an artist.
All right, yeah, we can totally do that. So my name's Brent Steele, and I'm from this area. We're in Penticton. And my art started, I probably started like painting in school. I guarantee like when, like in elementary schoolers, that was a thing, along with nap time and learning how to share. But as far as actually diving into and figuring out this, which I call chaos art, that just came quite recently. I've always tried to hyper focus on what I see up here, but I can't put it there, right? So like working from a reference, like look at something up on the internet and try and sketch it out or try and draw it. It's like I want to be able to do it, but there's some miscommunication between here and there. And so I finally decided to throw the rules out and forget and just go with the flow. I turn on the music. I literally take tubes of paint and just go smear them all over the canvas. And then I take palette knives and just move it around. And my art strictly is driven by movement, rhythm. And sometimes I don't even know if it's going to be cool, but I've come to terms with the fact that it always seems to work out, so it's pretty sweet.
I love it.
But that's kind of like I don't know, man. It's yeah, that's me and my chaos.
I love it because abstract art is something that I've interviewed one other artist that does abstract.
Okay.
And since then, I've seen multiple different pieces and artists of that do abstract, and movement seems to be a very common theme.
Yeah, right.
And I think I never understood abstract until with one of those interviews where it was describing movement, and
Okay.
that's where that magic comes from versus trying to have an image
Yeah,
and
right.
go
And
off
like
of.
I just recently started renting space at a gallery downtown, and we were supposed to do like a little write-up biography kind of thing. And as I was like jotting down, who I am and how this has become, I came across like my inspiration of music, or not music, paint art, is life in motion, uh, constant change. So like to sit on the beach and watch the waves while the trees blow and the sun sets, there's always some sort of movement, right? It's never going to be the same. Even if you sit on that same spot on the beach and you watch that sunset every night, it's never going to be the same. But there's a balance between what's happening, right? You know that sun's going to go down. You know those waves are going to crash. But how you take it in it's always a personal opinion. Even some people are like, oh, sunset, whatever. I'm going to go get a cake.
Yeah.
But I'd rather sit on the beach and just like watch as everything falls into place and as the earth settles for the evening and the waves start to mellow out, maybe roll in, the stars come out, and there's a sense of peace and serenity. And so when I stand in front of the canvas, and I've heard so many people be like, oh, I don't know what to paint. Or like writers, oh, I don't know what to write. Writer's block, that's been known as a huge thing. And like, I assume there's something called painter's block. I don't know if that's what it's called, but I've found that I don't have that problem. Nor will I ever, because I'm not trying to paint
A specific thing.
anything particular.
Yeah.
I just want to paint. And I think that's really a freeing sense of life.
There's something in the water in the Okanagan that makes everybody creative.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but there's so many creative people, and to be one of those people who's taking it and decided I want to try and do this as my life is, there's levels, you know what I mean? And then not a lot of people get to that step where they take that initiative and that initial, I'm just going to give it all and see what happens, and if it doesn't work out, whatever.
Yeah.
Which is kind of why I wanted to dive into painting, because life is chaos and your art is described as chaos art, and it's not chaotic, but it's beautiful. There's a beauty in chaos that I don't think people realize, because everyone wants everything to be so perfect and structured that chaos is scary.
Life isn't perfect.
No.
Nobody's perfect.
Well, and that's the thing too, is change, like adaptation to life is a key thing, and I think that being an artist in any form kind of gives you an upper hand on that, because being a musician, you put in 20 years, of dedication to learn an instrument. Painting is another thing, right? Like, painting is another level that I find is, music is an emotional, like you hear it, you connect, but painting is like a physical emotion and a spiritual aspect.
When it comes to art, there's like a whole lot of colors. And then you can like take some of those colors, just put them together and make a new color.
Colors, right? Yeah.
And then you could even be like colorblind and be like, well, my colors are different than yours. Unless you're like, and you're just like black and white and smear some weird colors. But I am actually colorblind. I have the red-green colorblind. It's not that I can't see them, but when they're like side by side, like my wife asked me, we were sitting on the stoop, just like, do you see that beautiful red rose over there? And I like looked across the way, and it was just like this big, like tall grass, all like really nice green. And somewhere hidden in the middle, I don't know, she told me there was a beautiful red rose. And I literally just did the colorblind test.
That's crazy.
Saying that I couldn't see, like the reds and greens were my tough. And then we go outside. I don't know if she's trying to like poke fun at me. But she's like, do you see that rose over there? And I just looked over and it was just like green. No, sweetie, I do not see the rose and that sea of green. She's like, what? It's right there. And I was like, we just did a test. Said that that's like the hard, I can't see that stuff. But I mean, like, I can't, anyways.
I was going to say, does it affect, like, not affect, but,
Well, you tell me.
well, like, there's a lot of red and a lot of light greens. This one has a lot of green and red, but in the centers. But this one,
and I can see it, right? I know that that's the reds and that's the greens. And
but
like,
when they're side by side, it's just hard to differentiate.
it was originally pointed out many moons ago. I bought a popsicle back when they had gumball for eyes.
Oh, okay.
And there was a green one and a red one. Little did I know they were like that. I opened it and I was like, yeah, I got two of the same color. And my sister was like, oh, no, Brent, there's a green one and a red one. And I was like, no, what are you talking about? They're two red ones. And so that was the initiation of it. But it's never been something that was like, I couldn't handle.
Yeah.
Especially, like, I strictly paint with oils, right? They're a lot thicker. They take more time to set. You have, like, lots of body to blend with. When you put them on, they're just like butter and bread, or like good jelly.
Did you, sorry to interrupt it, did you use leaves on this?
No, that's all tools.
That's all tools?
Yeah.
That looks so cool.
I've seen a tree or two in my day.
That's so cool. I thought it was like actual
Yeah.
pieces.
No, I got special like texture combs, and so I'll take the knife and I'll do like a vertical swipe, and then I come in with like a triangular texture comb and just like a quick pull.
So
You can
cool.
make them into trees. And I did like the like kind of snail shell. This one is actually like half a comb doing a circle that way and then another half going that way. That's not like a full. Yeah, and then just like with the knives and just like kind of go up and down and blend, and like it adds so much depth and texture, and like just the.
You see so much in there once you actually start to.
Yeah, right. You just stop and like.
It's crazy.
And like, seriously, I painted this with like I started up here. I did like put some like yellows and blues and stuff. It's like, this is cool. And then I like stopped for the night. And then I came back to, I was like, oh, I don't know. I think I might have messed it up. Oh, I'm gonna just keep going. And I did some other stuff. And I was like, oh, and like, it's just. I used to get really frustrated with the art when I was trying to like focus and actually like paint something specific, like, doing it from a reference. And now, I like forget those references. Go away.
Yeah.
Play the music, give me the colors, but I still get there's points, even though like they look complete and they look like unique, right? There is subtle moments in this chaos where I personally feel that I might have like mispulled or like overblended or something, and I'm like damn, just like look, we still have more time, and I'll just like leave that part. And I'll jump over here and do some stuff. And then I'll have some extra paint on my knife from that little bit. And I bring it back over here and I pull. And I'll come back to it. And then at the end of it, I'm like, I think it's pretty cool. And I hang it on the wall. And I pass by it every day for a week. And I'm like, you know what? That's pretty sweet.
How do you know? How do you make, like, I know other people have different ways of choosing when something's done, because I think that's the hardest in any as an artist, or something's never truly finished.
Yeah, and that's gonna be something in the back of your mind no matter what. Even when you do call it and you sign it and you sell it,
Yeah.
there's always gonna be something in your head, like as you jump into the next canvas, or as you write the next song, or as you bake the next pie. There's always going to be something in the back of your mind that's big. And it's like back the old cartoons, right? You got the angel and the devil.
Yeah.
Like, Dad, no, don't do it.
Yeah.
Come on. Right? It's like you missed, you feel like you missed. But like I was saying with the whole chaos thing, the rules, forget it.
Yeah.
It's the sense of letting go and not worrying whether or not you think it's done, but knowing that you can present it or let it go as something that you're happy with being complete enough for somebody else.
Yeah, I think that's the most difficult part. The thing about painting, though, is like for example, this one, you can feel the energy flowing through this one, and then before you even get to
And look, it goes, you can, if you want to have fun, you could just like turn
move
it
it around. Like, I really enjoy this aspect right here.
Right,
Where it
and
looks-
actually,
it's-
look, we could go this way too. If you get like, it looks like there's like a profile of like a face, almost, and like feathered.
I see a valley, mountains.
Oh, yeah.
A river coming down through the
For
valley.
sure, but like just like this white line, like you got
Oh,
like
yeah.
the forehead and the nose and then
Yeah.
like the lips.
Just
but
a bunch
the
of them,
way
like,
it's-
oil
it's
drips.
staggered, yeah.
Yeah.
Like going out, right?
I can definitely see, just by turning it too, like I see two different merging creeks. Like one coming down from the mountains, and then
Yeah, and then
right?
like up here you got this creek, and then this one's bridging off. You got like the dark forest up here, and
a
this
bunch of downed trees.
yeah, this painting was actually the first one that I know I was on the edge. I didn't know if I should, but I did it, and then as soon as I did it, I was like, ah! I put black, big cross lines in each corner, and then pulled everything into the middle, so it was like this big black X. And when you work with black, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna just like
no
add some blue to
forgiveness.
that,
Yeah, no,
right?
there's
We'll
no
just-
forgiving.
We'll buff that out right quick. And so like, because I went down to one of the galleries and I was showing them some of my art. I was like, what do I got to do to get on the walls here? And she's like, well, you know, blah, 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 rent space, this, that, you know, we charge. She's like, but I got so many artists. I was like, okay, whatever. And I showed her some of my stuff. She's like, well, you really like that color palette, don't you? I was like, this is all the paints that come in the box. What do you want me to do?
Love it.
And I was like, Walmart sells that in a 24-pack. This is the best I can do. And then, so, like, since then, I've been like, and then, because those ones were like a rather like bright section. That was at the start of the Chaos Venture. And then, so I'd like, ever since she said that, it wasn't like I was trying to like prove her wrong, because I haven't gone back to see her. I mean, she was a really nice person. It was a nice talk. But like, the fact that she said that, I was like, oh, what is your color palette?
Yeah, right?
Well, you got that's
What's everyone
24 different colors in the pack. Where are you getting your colors from? That's all I got, man. I thought I had everything. Black, white, red, yellow, orange, green. I know all the colors of the rainbow. But so this one, and it wasn't like the day after I had talked to her or anything, but it was something in the back of my head that I was just like, you know what, I'm going to challenge myself, and I'm going to hit it hard with darks to start. And so, like, anything that might be a possible, like, ooh, I messed it up, you're going to have to use that darkness to balance and, like, rebound, right? So you got to, like, I don't know, it was a fun little, like, challenge, almost. And I'm really happy with how this one turned out.
I like it.
I think it's fun. And, like,
I think that's definitely the way
usually you're not
goes.
supposed to touch the paintings, but this one's dry. It's like almost like
You can see
washboard.
the texture, and
Yeah,
that's what I
right?
love about it. Yeah, I think that's
Like these guys, like almost like out of like a Disney movie, like the little like walking geese or something. Like,
yeah. Paintings are really, especially when you dive in away from brush. I find like brush kind of, for myself, has always been the challenge, because I can't so many different styles of brushes and how you're supposed to use them, and it's not like you're not taught. You're just usually like, when you start painting, you just kind of pick up, put a bunch of paint on a paintbrush and start going, right?
They said this is a brush for paint, right? They didn't say it was just for a little bit of paint. Give me this big, look, all the paint there.
The thing I find is like one thing I found I was good at was weird blending. Okay. So where like colors are super so blended that you can't see the difference, and it just kind of like has this weird aspect of looking at it, which I use mostly sponges. Okay. I enjoy painting with sponges for some reason. I think that was the one thing where I've never actually got to use the knives and the pulling stuff, and there's so many different forms of art.
Yeah, right. Like it's infinite.
Yeah,
like,
and
it's like there's no stop to it. There's few things in this life. Well, I mean, maybe. This conversation could go on for a bit. Like when it comes to art and style and tools, like essentially and I think I already said this, your own limitation is your imagination.
Yeah.
Right? It's how far do you want to step outside the box? Because like when you are like conformed to, I can only paint portraits, like, okay, sucks to be you. But I mean, touche, because well done. But I hope you're good at it. But like, if they're strictly conformed to that and they could do that like really good, then why not step outside? Mm-hmm. Why not just open the window, look outside?
What's been your biggest challenge so far getting into an art career?
I don't have enough hands. And there's lids on all the paints. Those are pretty frustrating. Seriously, Pop Top, they got it on the toothpaste. It'd be so much easier.
Yeah, that's true.
The art career, well, it's, I mean, I work full-time construction, so it's not like I'm looking for a job. But if I could like paint and play music and just like be a dad and cook food for my family. That'd be
The dream.
I mean, I don't think I'd need much more than that. Maybe a beach in Mexico or something. But like as far as selling art, like I want to say it's the. I mean, we just like it's the wrong time of year to sell art. Apparently, nobody's out on the streets. You'll find me at the beach in the summertime. Come check it out. But I feel like people are like, I don't want to say nervous, but like unsure of if they were to buy something that's not the norm, it might like judge their character if they have a cheese party or something.
Fair
Right?
enough.
Like I would like. You put a price on something and people look at it, and if it's not like the Mona Lisa, right? They're like, oh, well, that's way too expensive. Be like, but like, what would you pay for it?
Right.
Right? Like what you like? You stop to look at it, like I was saying earlier, like it caught your eye, right? Maybe it's not your cup of tea, but it stopped you.
Yeah.
You looked at it. Look at it again, and then go look around, and then come back, take another look, and you know what? Flip it over. And check it out again, because there's more inside this than you've walked past in the last 5 blocks walking down the street.
Yeah.
Right? You said hi to Joe, you bought a coffee from Tim, and you saw Sandra on the corner walking her dog. In here, no matter where you look, there's something that you recognize. Like, you're like, oh, did you actually use these?
Yeah.
No.
A lot of these aspects look
Right?
like
It's
you
just-
grabbed
I've
a leaf or something.
been in nature, and like we got a summer cabin up on the Sunshine Coast. I've been outside and experienced life. I've done hiking. I love the water. I love like just watching the trees blow in the wind. They do a lot of work with breezes. But it's just a simple motion that comes from memory. And like I was talking about, like life in motion, right? It's movement, rhythm is how I work, I guess.
Question. How long did this one take you?
I think I did that one that was 3 sessions of about 2 hours each. I did like, it's kind of like top section here. I don't know, it was from like there down. And then I ran out of time. Well, time, there's never enough of it. And then I was like, the next day I was like, oh, I gotta go in. And then so I like went and did some more. And then and then the wife was like, hey, you gotta cook dinner. So I was like, ah. And then I went back in and I was like, I'm gonna finish it this time.
That's
And I
awesome.
went back down. So like this one actually was over the span of a couple days. But like I could do all of this in a sitting of about like 3.5, 4 hours.
That's awesome. It's cool to see it done in multiple parts. I always feel like you have to sit down and finish it right there on the spot.
Yeah, right. And I would prefer to, because it's a thing. Like when I'm like, I'll just be like chilling, cooking pancakes, and then I was like, I need to paint. now.
Inspiration hits at the weirdest times.
Manny, finish this pancake. I gotta paint. Vinny's here. Run away.
That's awesome.
But then just like, no, we're gonna watch the show. But like, it's, to me, when it comes, and it always comes, I want to just do it. Mm-hmm. I'm like,
There's no putting it
I
aside.
love you, but there's other things that are happening right now, and even if you don't let me, I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna be weird, and you're not gonna like it. Just let me. It's so much easier. Like, I'll still be here if you want to talk. I'm just gonna be moving
Arms.
paint, right? Colors happening. I'll give you some hands. Come on over. It's emotion. It's a movement. It's a thought. It's feeling. It's a wave of life. I don't know, man.
That inspirational force that just kind of, like you said, takes over you, and you have no control.
No.
I've
Right?
there's no stopping it once it comes. It's just a steamroller.
Yeah, right. Just washes over you, and I feel like not everybody gets that blessing, possibly curse. But if you do, don't ever think of it as a curse, and
No.
use it to your advantage for sure. Because if that is happening to you, then there's some sort of higher force or something, or your grandpa's looking
Something's
over you,
clicking.
or your buddy, blah blah blah. But use it, man. Like there's only so much time that we have, and if we can express something that hasn't been done yet, that people will enjoy, then why not?
I think that's the hardest thing nowadays as a creative is creating something that hasn't been done,
Yeah.
which is definitely, especially with music, it's
Music's
it's impossible, right? It's hard.
Well, and you could just ask AI now to do whatever you want for you, right? Jeez.
Yeah, that's another thing too. That's one thing I don't think technology will ever be able to accomplish is that natural inspiration. And when your brain just kind of disappears from reality and there's something that takes over.
Yeah.
Whatever you think it is, there's
Become
something.
one with the. It's one with the canvas for me, and like ever since I was a little kid, I've had shaky hands, like little tremors, and it's so frustrating. I hate it. It drives me nuts. And like I worked in a kitchen for a long time, and I was like trying to do like nice plates. Chef would be like looking over my shoulder. He's like, "Come on, do it!" I'd be like, "Ah, sauce everywhere," and it still happens like on a regular basis, and like. I know that it happens, and it's just like something stupid that I have to deal with. But there's a point when I get into the painting that my hands have never been more smooth, and I'm just like any sort of tremor behind my hand is the last thing that's thought of. Like I went into the studio this morning, and I was like a little bit nervous. I was like getting stuff ready. My hands are shaking. I was like, come on, get it together, man. And then I like start getting everything together, and then I was like dancing around, I'm moving and grooving, and I was like steady as rock, right?
Yeah.
This it's in between the sense of fear and accomplishment, maybe.
Yeah. It just tranquility takes over.
Yeah, right. That in between where you're uncertainty and possibly I could pull it off. I don't know.
For me, it's that moment that you're on stage before the first song plays.
Yeah,
and
right.
everyone's staring at you, and everyone's
yeah.
just staring at you, and you take that big deep breath, and then you start playing, and everything just kind of goes. And then after you're done, it's all back to chaos and anxiety.
Yeah, right.
The moment you open your eyes up again.
And then you're like, what just happened?
Yeah, what happened?
Oh, we're done? All right.
I think that's one of the cool things about art, whether it be sculpting, painting, writing music, acting. There's so many forms of it, and if you look back at history, entertainment and art has always been kind of our release, whether it's back in the Egyptian times or Japanese, ancient Japan, but like art, music has always been what defined culture.
Yeah. Definitely.
You know, like a culture isn't a sophisticated culture unless they have music, art, and, an army, basically. So,
An army.
but it's...
And a signature dish,
Yeah, right?
Gotta have that poutine.
And I think that's where it's like, I think that's where, it's never going to go anywhere. And I've seen online tons that, I have a lot of friends that are artists that are anti-AI. And that AI is taking over arts. unless AI genuinely gains a consciousness and can feel on the level that we can chemically,
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever going to be able to take us
No, it can only
out of our
work with
elements.
whatever, like the only way this AI programming can create art is you typing in something
prompt.
that you want, like, I want you to do something that looks like this or that and give it references, or that it already has references from,
Yeah.
right? Like, it can never create you something that is original.
No, it can't take the pain that you've had and put that on a canvas.
Yeah, right? It can
or-
never express it.
Yeah, and I
Right?
think that's kind of why art is such a beautiful thing, and why, like, being a creative person myself, I love watching other people do art and seeing how they do
inspiring.
it, their mind, the process behind their mind, because most of us who are creatives are loud, obnoxious, because that's how we
Yeah.
cope. But behind closed doors, we're calm, collected, and there's a lot of deep
Totally.
thoughts that no one really gets to hear, right?
Yeah.
So we express it, whether it be music, whether it be art, whether it be filming, or, right? So, like, getting that perspective from other people kind of just shows that we're all the same in that. When inspiration hits, there's no stopping it. If you were to give aspiring artists, painters, musicians, because I know you're both, advice, what would the best piece of advice you could give them is?
Oh man, don't listen to the rules. Like, don't let them tell you what you can do or can't do. Just breathe and find your niche. Go out and watch the sunset. Stare at the stars. Sit on the beach, put your hands in the sand, and watch the waves crash. Take those natural movements and sounds and use them and feel that energy.
Awesome. I definitely enjoy what you've created, and I can't wait to see what happens in a year from now.
Yeah, right. We're just getting started.
That's the thing, right?
This is all me just learning how to paint, which seems kind of funny because like I'm painting, but like it's all just like figuring out techniques and stuff, and like you can see like there's like, would you ever guess that the same person painted this whole thing or painted all three of these? The same person,
Right.
right? Like there's definite hints at styles that are similar, but like technique wise, and these are all like there's a good spread in like time between these. But this is all just like this last year has been me learning and figuring out technique and style.
Yeah.
So like just wait.
Right.
We're just getting started.
And I think that's what's
I
perfect.
need to get some more canvas, but I was thinking about painting these sound panels for the guys.
It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be wicked. Well, Brent, I want to thank you so much for doing this, bro. It's been
Thank you,
a pleasure to
man.
sit down with you and talk about
It's been fun.
this, because we got to talk to each other about your art at the fundraiser, and
Yeah.
to actually sit down and see it is
Yeah.
it's
and
different.
we
It's beautiful.
Yeah, and like this is just I tallied up yesterday. I got 28 pieces in my house. I have 32 pieces that have left the house. There's like a couple sold and a couple, or like lots just as gifts.
Yeah.
So that's 60. And then I have 5 pieces on the wall in the gallery. So that's 65. And I have 21 in my studio.
Wow.
Plus the one I did today, so 22. So that's 87 pieces.
Wow.
87
In
pieces.
1 year?
5 of those were done this year.
Oh, okay.
So 82 in a year.
That's crazy.
Right? And I wasn't
Because
even like...
we just came over. We just transitioned
yeah,
over the year.
I
so
wasn't even like trying to like bump out some like crazy numbers.
That's insane.
But now I got like, I'm like, well, I gotta break 100 this year at least, right?
No. We'll have to get you out to Kelowna to
Yeah.
a show and get your artwork at one
Yeah,
of those shows.
man.
Perfect.
I can be a traveling art show.
That would be awesome.
You give me the music, I'll paint.
Right? All right, buddy. Well, I want to thank you. And we'll catch you
you.
guys again next time.
Yeah. Rock and roll.